This is not a cry for help. Really, I'm fine as well. This is me trying to find myself, even if I got a mind of selves in my mind to remind myself all the times I felt much worse than this. When folks acted so merciless, but looked like friends on the surfaces, disguising with their purposes. This perp I sip, this smoke I blow, these brews I drink, these shrooms I eat, these pills I pop. When I find what I'm searching for, I truly wonder if I will stop. Think I might, probably not. Smile bright as my body rots, with fuzzy vision and spotty thoughts. Hide where nobody watch. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me be. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me be. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe. I like the way that I feel, cause lately I just been chasing uphill, trying to get to the top of it in this metropolis. Once had the greatest appeal, now I wanna patiently chill, cool with my girl and pop the occasional pill. Order some wine to the table, but please do not pour it. I wanna break in the seal. Her legs are shaking cause she feel the bass in her heels. The look on her face as she's tasting the meal tells me that I'm gonna get what I wanted. She loves how I keep it amazingly real, realer than ever. Floating, I feel like a feather, roll while I listen together. My mama doesn't agree with my choices, but I cannot feel any better. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me be. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me breathe. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe. You don't condone drugs, but don't judge. Sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes it's like everyone need me at once, then I just get selfish. Then my living room all start melting. Let out that stress I held in. I could be wrong by singing these songs, but I think this shit is helping. I've been hell-bent on moving too fast, but the speed helped me slow down. Must've ate at least a pound. I can't explain the peace I found. If it gives you peace of mind, mama, I promise I'm safe with this shit. I'm drinking plenty of water before even thinking of taking a hit. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me be. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me be, just let me be. Oh, I like the way that I feel right now. Just let me breathe, just let me breathe, breathe.
Hey, guess what?
Big enough, ain't big enough. This house ain't built for the two of us. Maybe you should
They
take
can
a
hear
little
me.
peek into the rear view. You could probably get a better view of us. Coming in red hot, going for the gusto. Yeah, going for the glory, takes gusto. I think you got the stuff though.
We're going to the beat.
Cutthroat, hit it like I'm Kobe in the clutch though. If you give me props, good looks. Yeah, stay up like a good book. I OD on a good beat, trying to make fun of those beats to the good seats. I'm just looking for a good time. Yeah, just looking for contact. Sorry, it's the wrong time. You can hit me on time. Talk about the time to get the feet wet. Yeah, let me get a heat check. Sick with it, man, I think I got a defect. Lil' mama, you should pop it in a tape deck. About to take it from the cellar to the apex. For Pete's sake, put the money in a briefcase. Fuck a rebate, never been a cheapskate. If you need Nate, I'll be chilling in the Peace State, working on a top 10 replay. Making big plays, I'm a ship shape mixtape, sounding like a get rich quick tape. Lil' mama, turn it up and let it rotate. Bring it back for me, kinda like a cold case. Looking shotty like I might have found a soulmate. VA, gotta do it for my home state. Plus I wouldn't mind a rollie with the gold face. Rarely ever blown take, I control my own fate. Big enough, ain't big enough. This house ain't built for the two of us. Maybe you should take a little peek into the...
We are live, Commissioner Corner podcast number 53, CC 53, and right now I want to let you guys know this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got Building the Franchise, Carolina Panthers. That's right, a new team, episode number 1, Steelers vs. Panthers. Season 37, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the NBL Network. Stream starting soon? No. Stream starting now. Let's get into it. I'm joined alongside my co-host, Lip, the Ripper. What's going on, Lip? Appreciate you joining us today. A little late, better late than never. I know we say that often, but it is going to come early and often. CC53. We got a big show in store. We had a big offseason, a lot of moves being made. We had a lot of hype being made around one certain particular team, which didn't have a good day today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about young leadership being the quarterbacks that got selected. We had like 6 or 7 new rookie quarterbacks going to be starting for their team week 1. They've already started. We're currently in week 2, NBL season 37, if you guys didn't know. So we actually have some action to talk about. We're going to get into building the Bleacher Report first. And then we're going to do the wheel of the NBL, in which we're going to just select we're going to have a wheel spin, and then we're just going to select pretty much a team. And then the team that we select, we're going to talk about for a little bit, and then you can live view or call in. If Eric G's in the building, I need him to DM me the phone number that we have online for the NBL Network, because I forget it. Or if somebody knows it, DM me on GroupMe. I appreciate that. Shout out to Z-Star in the chat, RJ in the chat, King Dude, Big Dad Mel, NBL Raiders, Brad, Alex. We already said Z-Star, Double A's in the building, Gibbs is in the building, Shadow Rose, JB, everybody's in the building. Shout out to JB. I know he's going to be gone for the weekend. Appreciate all the graphics and everything that you do for us, but it's time for us to get into the show. Let's get right into it. Bleacher Report time, and we're going to check out what's going on. We're going to start right here at this point, 23 hours ago. We're going to look at this. The Jets were close to going all in on a top corner this past free agency, but we're highly impressed with the work ethic from second-year cornerback and former first-round pick Sanchez Butler, who will play alongside star cornerback Rashawn Pratt to make I guess, an in-house dynamic duo here for the New York Jets. You buying this? What they're selling here? Who are these guys?
Well, the Jets are a team that, like 3 seasons ago, everybody said that they weren't really a team of any value. And then they went 12-4, made the playoffs. They were in a tough division. And then last year they went 9-7, and I believe made the playoffs again. So this is a team that they're building something. I mean, even they're dropping from 12 wins to 9 wins, still in the playoffs 2 years in a row. They don't need to go out and get one of the fanciest corners in the league, because we're going to get into how that worked out. So bringing in guys who are flying under the radar are going to help them continue to build and grow and hopefully get into the playoffs for a 3rd straight year.
And true story, the Jets have already spent a lot of money. So if the fan base is saying, why weren't we in on the cornerback heavy free agency? Well, you spent like a ton of money the last 2 offseasons. I mean, you got to give the team a break. They can't spend money every offseason. All right, moving along, 23 hours ago, the Buffalo Bills once again got thumped 31-7 to start the season. Baker Mayfield completed 11 of 17 passes, 64%, 124 yards, and no interceptions, and that's in all caps, Lip. Huge improvement for a team who had 3 touchdowns and 33 interceptions overall all season. That was last season, NBL season 36. Is there hope in Buffalo? I'm 100% on board. Yes, there is hope in Buffalo, because Baker Mayfield, I think, is only going to get better with this unit, and I think this wide receiver core is kind of has low-key potential here, meaning that many people aren't going to talk about them. They probably will never talk about them. This is probably the only time we talk about them, but they're good, and they can get open, and Baker Mayfield has proven he's good, and he can throw people open, so I think that's a winning combination for the Bills, and winning for the Bills would be 3 to 4 wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say anything crazy there?
No, this is
okay.
This is week 1 against a team that it's a great roster. The Patriots have a great roster. They've got a great history. This team's supposed to do this to many teams in the league, not just the Bills. First game in the regular season with your new quarterback. Of course, there's going to be bumps in the road. I'm never going to jump and say after 1 game it's a failure, it's not going to work out. There's absolutely hope, because whenever you have a star quarterback,
you remember people like that, right?
Oh yeah,
they would completely just overreact after 1 game and believe that somehow is laying out the path for the future. Even though the Bills, it might actually get worse, but I mean, there's hope here. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Any final sentiments on the Buffalo Bills? I don't want to spend too much time on these guys, because anything we spend on them, we got to spend like 100 times more on everybody else, and then our typical double A, we're gonna have to give him 5 times more than everyone, so he's not upset.
Yeah, I think the one thing that would help the Bills if they got a real true #1 receiver. I'm looking at their guys. They've got Brewer and Shepard. Those guys both seem like solid #2s. If they had a real legitimate #1 wide receiver, that would help Baker Mayfield out. But like I said, it's 1 game. There's definitely
shout out
hope.
to Shat. Are you looking on a dailies right now? Give us the attributes for Ryan Brewer.
Ryan Brewer is 5'9", 200 pounds.
That's irrelevant. Just give us the attributes that are good, basically. That's not. Yeah, he's a little short guy. He's not super fast.
Okay. If you want to know the truth, I was reading his height and weight as the attributes page was loading. So.
Oh, gotcha.
You broke up my filler.
All right, go ahead. Fill it up.
So being 5'9", 91 speed, 93 excel, he's got really good route running short, 90 route running short, and then it goes to 88 mid and 81 deep, but 90 catching and 92 catching traffic. That's a good, you know. The only thing is he can't really be. The problem with him, he's not very tall and he's not extremely fast. You would put him in that OBJ, Antonio Brown conversation if he was a little bit faster.
Yeah, like 95 speed plus, a lot bit faster actually.
Yeah, if you were talking about maybe like Martavis Bryant, he would have to be taller. There's a lot of differences. But he doesn't quite have the speed or quite have the size to be the number one. But if you take a lot of attention off of him by having to pay attention to a number one,
exactly,
he would absolutely roast you.
Yeah, see, me and Lip are on the same thing with this guy as well. So shout out to the Bills. That's probably all we're going to spend on the season. NBL Live Pick'em. So we had NBL Live Super Show last night. Obviously, the Cardinals and the Niners game got out of control early, but it was NBL Live broadcast 274. Cowboys versus the Giants was the big game. It went down to the very end. Lip, any reaction to that game? And they're putting hashtag NBL Season 36. It's NBL Season 37, guys. You just did Bro Season. You should know where we're at this point. But it was a great way to start NBL Season 37. I know they say it at the top, but at the bottom they hashtag the other season. Guys, it was a mixed bag. Cowboys, Giants, it looked like 4 for the Cowboys and 4 for the Giants. Then Cringe obviously couldn't vote. He's on a Bleacher Report team. Everybody went for the Cardinals, which was a runaway game. We're not even going to talk about that. But how impressed were you with the 2 rookie quarterbacks? Parker Sheffield for the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants having Foote come in. Graham Foote looked like I thought he played better than Parker at the beginning of the game, even towards the middle. But it just seemed like Parker was able to get in the end zone at the end. I'm like, how is everybody going to remember this game? Because the Giants' Foote actually looked pretty decent, right? Graham Foote looked good, but then at the end he goes on a drive and he kind of solidifies it all. And now we're going to look back and go, man, that Graham Foote kid in New York, he's going to be a player.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Whenever everybody saw this matchup, we were go back to the MVP race of last year. It was Zeke and Barkley kind of fighting for number 2 outside of Patrick Mahomes. So those were the 2 players in this game you really thought were going to be the stars of the show. But you look at Zeke, 14 for 39, and Barkley, 12 for 18. Those guys didn't really do a whole lot. So it was cool to see the rookie quarterbacks have to go out there and, I guess, be the ones to drive the show. Foote with 283 yards. That was impressive because I'm not sure if they were going with him from day one. I think Derek Carr got hurt. They may have been going with Foote from day one. I'm not sure. But either way, he had to start week 1 against the Cowboys and was able to get that tight 1-point win, which we always expect these games to be very close, very tight, and this did not disappoint at all. These 2 quarterbacks are definitely going to be playing in NFC championships and Super Bowls. And credit to the Giants, changing quarterbacks often and always getting it done.
All right, I'm going to ask for a quick rating here. Obviously, the number 1 pick was involved. So we talked about Sheffield and we talked about Graham Foote, starting rookie quarterbacks for the Cowboys and the Giants of their respective ball clubs, winning ball clubs. Opposite end, number 1 overall pick, B.J. Bauman, 13 of 25, a $186 as far as yards go, and touchdowns 0 and 2 interceptions. Had a QBR of 43.1. Initial thoughts on that number 1 overall draft pick that has the size and the frame out of UT, man. Is this another Texas Longhorn bust quarterback?
Yeah, I think that the problem is, look, 3 points in the first game. That's not good. Can't get in the end zone no matter what. And I want to bring up the same point that I did with the Bills. I don't see a number 1, and I don't even really believe in a solid number 2. You got Cameron Meredith, and then you've got a bunch of guys who fill out the 4, 5, and 6 spots on depth charts on many other teams. You've got Zombo and Roberts, who really they would not even be in the top 3 in other teams. So you've got Cameron Meredith, who's 29. He's fading. There's really no one for this guy to throw the ball to, so I can't really say he's a failure or a bust or anything like that. He just has absolutely no help. And then you look at the ground game, 28 yards in that first game. That's 30th so far in this season. So he's got no help. He's got to do it all himself, and they have not helped build around him. And that kind of leads you into the topic of, is it really time to take the franchise quarterback first, or was it
yeah,
more,
that's what I don't get. That's what
around
makes me upset. You can't just take a player number 1 overall and say, well, I'm going to get the quarterback position, a position that actually, in order to be a viable position on your team, it needs a line, it needs people that can get open, and then it'll allow you to go to the next level. Right now, it's like they're putting the cart in front of the horse right now. It's not making any sense in San Francisco, but I'm not going to waste my breath anymore. We're just going to continue to move on.
Last thing about this San Francisco team, they do not have a single offensive lineman over 80 overall. There is nobody to protect the quarterback.
They're not even good blockers, the ones under 80. They are low awareness, confused, young players, just not with much talent. And you kind of wonder, why not build a situation where a quarterback can come in there and be ready to rock and roll day one, rather than bring him in there and say, hey, you're going to start day one, but it's a complete mess. Go ahead and figure it out. With the season just getting underway, what a better time to start looking at which players could bring home hardware at the end of the season. What do you guys think? Who do you think will take home the awards? Check it out on the Bleacher Report team thinks in an article powered by Daddy Leagues. Make sure you check out that blog. Just recently got posted 20 hours ago. The San Francisco 49ers Cardinals went toe-to-toe on NBL Live, ending in a lopsided win for the Cardinals, 37-3, and we already talked about this. Number 1 overall pick, B.J. Bauman, finished with 186 passing yards, 2 interceptions. Arizona Josh Rosen went perfect, 293 yards and 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Shout out to the Cardinals again, another big win this week over the Rams. The Cardinals 2-0. You buying it? Contender, pretender? I say contender for that division. 100% they're going to win that division. But when the playoffs comes, we're not really arguing that. We're not really talking playoff wins for this team. Are we, Lip? You're not buying that though, are you? No, right?
I think we can get a powerful yes to contender for the division. Then we get into the playoffs. I just think that they're a one-man show. I think if they're getting there by David Johnson, they're gonna try to win the playoff games with David Johnson. They're just too one-dimensional. I'm just not buying that this perfect 293 and 2 touchdowns against the 49ers is going to power them to deep into the playoffs. I just don't see it. So definitely going to win the division, just not diverse enough to make it through the playoffs. Because you got to be tough. You got to be able to win in multiple ways, very different ways against different teams.
And you have to overcome your failures throughout the game. Even if it happens to be an engine of your offense kind of goes down, you have to be able to help elsewhere and get big plays elsewhere. I don't think they got it. Lip earmuffs. Without fail, the Kansas City Chiefs are off to a hot start in the passing game, with Patrick Mahomes going over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in the season debut against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tyreek Hill hauled in 7 of those passes for 151 yards in a score. The Kansas City Chiefs, a.k.a. rocking in the regular season. That's what they do. Ball out in the regular season. I'm not surprised by this. This isn't even really worth talking about. Outside of the fact that, Lip, you're my co-host. It was you that took the L, and so they're going to say, maybe I'm giving you a pass here. We're not talking about it. Lip, you took the L to a team that does a lot of handing out of L's in the regular season, but until I see the Kansas City Chiefs winning the playoffs, I really don't care to talk about them that much in the regular season, just because I feel like I've seen this story before. I'm really excited in the regular season and disappointed in the postseason, and I'm tired of being disappointed. So maybe if I just kind of calm down in the regular season, I'm not as hyped come the playoffs. Because until they get over that hump, which is the Miami Dolphins or anybody else, the Cleveland Browns have been their kind of Achilles heel in the playoffs. Until they get over that, they're absolutely in a tough position with me. I just can't buy the regular season hype.
Yeah, it seems like the Chiefs are the absolute #1 team in the regular season. Once playoffs hits, they are like guaranteed. They are the 3rd best team, and it always seems like you said, the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Browns, a mix of those 3 teams are 1 and 2 every year, and the Chiefs just they just fall apart in a big game in the playoffs, and it's confusing because they are so dominant and so powerful in the regular season. This team has it all. They have the ability to throw outside, throw inside, throw deep, short, and run the ball. It's just they got to figure it out come the big games or the bright lights. I talked to JB a little bit. He wants to play under the lights on the big stage more during the regular season so that they are used to it come playoff time.
Yeah, this is a very, it almost reminds me, you know what this is? The last thing we'll say about them, and we got another thing coming up. And let me get this out the way. Congratulations, Patrick Mahomes. He won Player of the Week for Bleacher Report Week 1. 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 carries for 13 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. That's 4 total touchdowns. Left outside linebacker Preston Smith of the Redskins. 4 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. They both won Bleacher Report Player of the Week for Week 1. Shout out to them. Hashtag NBL Season 37. But back on the Kansas City Chiefs, I think that is exactly the issue. It feels like and Liv, you can relate to this. This is what we would say coming from, I don't come from a big city, but anytime a team would come in high school and they'd come to play us, basketball, football, whatever it may be, in their smaller school that's been winning, those big lights of coming to play get a little nervous. I feel like Kansas City is a very solid team, but maybe they're not in the big city, right? So they're coming from out of the big city. They go to play the big games in the playoffs, and it just seems the nerves get the best of them. They just pretty much choke in the playoffs. I mean, is that a fair assessment there of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, they're pushing for scheduling.
They remind me of a team like they're from Altoona, PA or something. You know, it's a nothing place. And they're coming there, they're trying to play the big-time bright lights. It's not happening. Shout out to Lib. He's from Altoona, PA. If you guys didn't know, didn't catch the joke. But yeah, Lib, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I'm going to try to pull up what they've done in the playoffs in the past couple of years because, well, like we said, Patrick Mahomes is always in the MVP race. Has won MVPs. So this is a guy that needs to lead you to playoff success. Now, look at last year. So you come in, you're going to play the Bengals in the first round of the playoffs, and you get a 7-point win versus the Bengals. I'm not disrespecting the Bengals here, but the 14-2 Chiefs should be doing a lot better. Against that Bengals team who is slowly building. I think they won 6 games and then 11 games. They are not anywhere near as powerful as the Chiefs. And then they ran up against the Dolphins, who they lost 30-21 to.
All
so
right, moving on. Let's move on. Kansas City Chiefs. I got to see it in the playoffs. We will continue to talk about you as long as it's the regular season. I'm sure you're going to be a top topic. See what I did there? I'm excited for their opportunities in the playoffs because I think once they get over the hump, that's going to make them really dangerous. But until then, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them, kind of like LeBron James when he went to Miami. All right, the Lions linebacker core snagged 3 interceptions week 1 in the drubbing of the Carolina Panthers, 47-17. Corey Coleman hauled in 4 catches, $138 and 2 touchdowns. If you got him on your fantasy list, you should be excited because you do. Malik Ali 17 times and carried the ball 101 yards. Also had a touchdown for the Lions. Lions look again to be real. We'll move on. We're not going to consider talking about myself. In a defensive week 1 battle with the Packers, they ended up sneaking away with the victory versus the Jets 10-6. Carson Wentz completed 9 of 18 for 110 yards and the only touchdown of the game. Jair Alexander, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, I think he's 99 overall, picked the ball off twice in the contest as the Pack moved to 1-0. They're now 1-1 after a loss this week, but that was an impressive win week 1 against the New York Jets. I did not expect it to happen, especially 10-6. I expect the Jets to put up some points.
Yeah, that's. I mean, for our cash outs, I definitely thought the Jets would win this game by multiple scores, and it did not happen. The Packers came to play, played good defense, and then they played solid offense. But you talk about Jair Alexander, 99 overall, plays next to a guy named Moses Hood, who is also 99 overall. Yeah. So that defense,
that's a safety. Yeah,
Moses
Hood was drafted, I think, 2nd overall.
Yeah,
I believe.
so.
Phenomenal
One
player.
side of that entire defense is lockdown city. There's nothing going through there. That's a for real no-fly zone on that side of the defense. Then of course you got Derek Patterson on offense. So this team's got a lot of young players. And in week 2 they went up against the Redskins, who are battling back. They're 2-0 right now. So they take a loss to the Redskins, but the Packer team still has a lot of young talent. Definitely a team to look out for building because they have such good talent.
35 viewers watching right now. Appreciate you guys checking out the Commissioner Corner podcast. If you want to join the NBL, go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. The Bleacher Report Morning Buzz for February 22nd. That's today. They said, did you know the Vikings are paying cornerback Xavier Rhodes more than 13 times cornerback units, more than 13 teams quarterback units combined. Yeah, there we go. So they're paying Xavier Rhodes by himself more than 13 teams combined totals for salaries at the cornerback position. That is, that's not. Pull up the stats on Xavier Woods for me. Let me know what his overall is and where he's at speed and stuff, because that just sounds crazy. In a cross-conference battle, the Broncos and Seahawks squared off in a game that came down to the wire. The Broncos warded off the Seahawks' late comeback attempt and won the day 21-16. The Broncos have improved to 2-0, while the Hawks slipped to 0-2. Yeah, the Hawks are they're almost like the opposite of the Cardinals right now. They're close in games, but finding a way to lose. And our final tweet of the day is going to be about the Arizona Cardinals. Did you pull up Xavier Rhodes yet?
Yeah.
What do we got? What is he making? What's his base salary?
Xavier Rhodes, $51 million contract, $12 million bonus.
Okay, so that's 63 over how many years?
Over 6 years.
So he's over 10 a year with a back loaded. Okay.
He's in the highest point of the. He's in his final year of that contract.
Okay, so what is he making? 15.
Making $16 million salary, with a cap penalty of $2 million.
Yeah,
so there is
$14 million to free up, and they decided, you know, we're going to keep him on our team. He's a team that doesn't have much funds.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of funds to go around there. So, but I can see that they would say to keep him because he still is 90 speed. His Excel dropped to 87, 89 man and 92 zone. He still can play. 88 agility is low. I say he can still play, but I don't know if I would still want him to play for 16, 17, $18 million.
Let's ask the chat right now. Is this a good keep? It's a $14 million that would have freed up for you. Obviously, that would have done nothing for them in this offseason, but this is a team that really struggles with funds, and they got to think lip next season. Look what the Jacksonville Jaguars did. Your Jacksonville Jaguars. They saved money by having such low salaries, and it allowed them to really come up on the funds game. Well, here's an opportunity to gain $14 million over the season. They decided to pass on it, keep a cornerback that's 87 acceleration, 90 speed, and what was his age?
32.
32. So this is the last. You're not bringing him back. So why not just cut ties a year early? That's where I'm at. I think an absolute cut. Lip's saying he can see why they'd hang on. I see 90 speed, 87 excel, and I see 16 million. And I see a cleaned out locker room, and I see a ticket back to wherever he came from because you're not going to be playing football for the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know what you guys think in the chat.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, look, over his 5 years, 4 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 4. I got a pretty good guess he might finish with 3 or 4 interceptions this year, and that is not worth $4 million per interception. It's just, that's not worth it. He never seemed to play to an elite status, to a $16 million for a season status. So I like the point of let him go, work on the fun situation to be able to get spread that wealth around, deepen up your team in other places other than just paying this 32-year-old guy to just kind of hang out on the field occasionally.
All right, RJ the Destroyer in the chat saying, I think you got to take that money back. Buyer beware here on the final year of the contract for Xavier Rhodes. Take a look at the last tweet, most recent tweet. I told you the Cardinals just won. A back-and-forth game between the Rams and the Cardinals resulted in a 19-16 victory for Arizona. Oh, I'm shocked. Shocker there. A back-and-forth game where the Cardinals probably looked like they were going to lose at one point. They end up winning. That's what they do within the division. They are a primed El Capitan of that division when it comes to just making big plays at the right time. Halfback David Johnson continues a strong start to NBL season 37 by posting 77 yards and a touchdown. The Cardinals are now 2-0 with both wins coming against division foes. Not surprised one bit, Lip. I don't even think we need to go into that. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it is what it is at this point. This team is they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's likely just win division games because that's what they do. All right, guys, don't forget Panthers building the franchise Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I step on Lip, what were we going to say?
So, yeah, absolutely. The thing is with David Johnson, this is where the things are good for the Cardinals. David Johnson's always going to get you somewhere around 800 or 900 yards, somewhere around 8 touchdowns, and they're always going to win right around 500, maybe plus 1 or 2 games. That's what they are. That's what they're going to be. And like you said, they get a lot of division wins, which with 6 division wins, you only have to win 2 or 3 outside of the division to be able to put you in contention for the division winning spot in the playoffs. So that's what they are. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. That's what the Cardinals are.
All right, let's get right into the action. What we got going on today, the Patriots signings. Who did they bring in? Yeah, they were on the cover. There it is. Dynamic duo. No-fly zone in New England. The Patriots bring in Jalen Ramsey, 5 years, $34.75 million. That's base with a $37.80 signing bonus. And my math's going to tell me that's about $71 million over 5 years. That's a pretty friendly deal for a player of that caliber. Also on the flip side, Denzel Ward. Come here. Give me that. 5 years, $37.25 million base with a $46.5 million signing bonus, and my math is going to tell me I'm going to need a calculator for this one. 40, 30, 70, 6, 7, that's going to be 13, that's going to be 83, 84, about $84.5 million over 5 years, so that's a pretty good deal for both of these guys. What are your thoughts on this dynamic duo? Obviously struggling right now. Speaking, they just lost 30-0.
Yeah, so I mean,
so put it in context. Let's put it in what happened today. Obviously, 1-0. They beat the Bills. What happened today? Pull up the stats and to give us a synopsis, lip ripper style. What you think really happened today against the Miami Dolphins? Just completely. It almost felt like they were just outmatched.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This Patriots team, they like to play defense and run the ball and play, conservative offense. They're not going to go out and they're not going to throw for 350, 400 yards. And they're going to run for, right around 1,000 yards with Michelle. And their offense never got going. So looking at the offensive side, I don't believe in Chuck Thomas. I don't believe in him at all. He is average quarterback. You see against the Dolphins, 3 interceptions today. That's what happens whenever average, maybe slightly above average quarterback goes against a really good defense. Yeah. And guess what? The Dolphins have that, and they've had it for a couple seasons, and it's going to continue to grow. But looking at the defensive side, Allen Rose threw 2 interceptions. He threw as many, or 2 incompletions. He threw 2 touchdowns, 2 incompletions. And the Dolphins really steamrolled the Patriots.
And 2 interceptions was on the other side. The Patriots, Chuck Thomas, I think he threw 2.
So you look, the Patriots defense right now, 32nd against the rush. That is completely terrible because if you're allowing teams to run on you and you're always trying to protect against the pass, it kind of messes with you because you're allowing them to run, and then whenever you try to protect against, also making $8 million this season. Yeah. So at least 3 out of their 4 secondary members are highly paid, highly talented guys, and they're just not getting it done right now. This was the biggest game on their schedule. They always look at this team, the Dolphins, because this is the team that went to the Super Bowl. This is the team that wins the division and goes on to do big things. So the Patriots are saying, we've got to figure out how to compete with these guys. They bring in someone to shut down the MVP candidate, Allen Rose. And what does he do? 10 for 12, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. It's embarrassing, honestly. Yeah, they've got another shot, but
I don't want to hear this crap about the New England Patriots brought in these 2 guys. It's still too early. This doesn't apply. These are 2 veterans. You brought 2 veterans in to play cornerback. There's not much chemistry you really need at this position. It's lockdown corner. That's what they're going to give them. You get this side of the field, I'm going to get this side of the field, and I got everything over the top. Here's the issue. You sign these guys, you look at your schedule, it comes out, you see week 2, you're playing the Dolphins, you go, we're going to take that game early in this game. We're going to set the tone. Wow, 30-0. What the heck just happened to the New England Patriots? We're going to continue to follow this dynamic duo story. We're going to have a part 2 on the next episode, which will be in 2 weeks, obviously. So it's going to be between March 6th and March 8th. We'll be back, and we're going to follow up and see how it does. We don't do enough following up on this show, Lip. I think we need to add that. Our audience needs that. We need to follow up on our stuff, and we're going to make these assessments. So we're gonna give a little bit of some forward thinking here. Where do you see the Patriots going here? Do you think it gets better, or do you think he's still going to be slightly disappointed? I'm leaning after 30-0. I think they're going to come back, have a couple big games. What does their schedule look like over the next couple weeks?
I'm going to give you a little follow-up here by saying that Tawan Taylor of the Miami Dolphins had two receptions for 96 yards. Do you know who that is? Do you have any clue?
Yeah,
you
never heard of him?
Never heard of him. Yeah,
No.
So you've got 3 elite secondary guys, and Tawan Taylor is putting up the big numbers against you. So I'm worried because even without scheme, just based off just talent,
yeah,
it should have been more locked down than that. But
you can't go
30-0.
30 points,
yeah,
bro?
Exactly.
30? If it was 17-0, I would have said, you know what, the defense was still formidable. The offense got to put some points on the board. But 30, 30, I got no pass on 30. I got 0 pass on 30, and it doesn't get much easier. Got the Browns the next week. Obviously, a depleted Browns team, but I think they're going to fight. They're going to have the heart of the champion in them. This is a 2-time Super Bowl champion winner. I think he's going to come back. Well, 3-time owner, 2-time with the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to come back and have a tough game, but I think it's going to be a blowout week 4 versus the Vikings, then a blowout week 6. They're going to dominate the Packers, but then here comes their schedule. This is right around our show's about to come back, Lip. Bears, Dolphins. We might be talking about this game after another Dolphins-Patriots game at our next show. I mean, I'm really excited to see how it all plays out. I think the Patriots might be in some big-time trouble.
Yeah, I think that I think so too. But I also think that because the Patriots offense doesn't have, they're not an offense that's going to go out and put up 35 to 40 points. And you say blowouts and stuff. I don't think that they're going to be blowouts because, look, they're winning against the Jets by 10. They're winning week 14 last year. They beat the Bills by 13. They couldn't compete with the Chiefs. They beat the Titans by 10. This isn't a team that goes out. They don't have a powerful offense like the Dolphins or the Chiefs. And
also, let's put out, they didn't cover the spread versus the Buffalo Bills week 1. I mean, it was 31.5, but I mean, still, they didn't cover it. It was 31-7. So we can put that out there right there as well. This isn't a high-scoring team, and they're not going to put up a lot of points against a formidable opponent. And the defense, if it's not going to somehow shut teams down to 3 and 6 points, we might be in the same New England Patriots we saw last season that didn't look too great in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think my last point about the Patriots is you can talk about the flashy secondary with Ward, Ramsey. They've got King and Clinton Dix. They've got a great secondary. But if you want a little NBL history here with this ownership, is all about the linebacker play. And when you look at these linebackers for these Patriots, they are nowhere near some of the linebacking cores that we've talked about being just good. Forget the great ones. I don't really see a strong leader on this linebacking squad. I don't see a lot of, one thing that makes there's not a lot of speed. There's not a lot of great pass cover guys. It's just kind of a collection of fellas, and that's really where you build the defense with the run game and pass coverage. It's the one group of positions that really plays a big part in defense against the run and the pass. So you load up your secondary with a lot of talent. You kind of been cheap on your linebackers, which are the real important things for the defense. And that's just not how this ownership has built defenses before. And that's where I think there's going to be a big failure is these linebackers.
Yeah, usually you see a big linebacker buildup. All right, let's go ahead and move on. But before we do, we're going to take a little bit of a look at rookie quarterbacks here. Actually, that's going to be where we're moving on to. And then we're going to talk about the magazine just a little bit on the screen. Let me go ahead and hit that one more time. All right, so rookie quarterbacks, big deal. B.J. Bauman, Thomas Cook, Brian Milhauser, Andrew McBride. Who the heck is Andrew McBride? Oh, that's double A's. We got to talk about him twice as much. That's why he's double. Parker Sheffield and Graham Foote. Also, I want to put out there the magazine just dropped. Here's what we got. We're going to get it on the screen real quick. The NBL magazine just dropped. We got Odell Beckham looking fresh right there. What do you think about Odell Beckham, this cover magazine done by JB? Giants season 36 Super Bowl champions. That's absolutely facts. New England no-fly zone. That's not looking like facts. New sheriff in Dallas. That's facts. Josh Allen back in Detroit and probably will hurt his back in Detroit. That's probably going to be facts as well. 10 draft winners and losers. We're going to talk about that right now. NBL magazine. Just wanted to give it a play. Make sure you check it out. Someone in the chat tell me what magazine number we're on.
I just want to thank the magazine groups and gods for putting OBJ on the front because 6 receptions, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 receptions, 104 yards and a touchdown. Those are his stats for the first 2 games, and I happen to have him in our fantasy.
Oh man, you might win it this year, huh? You got close last year too, didn't you?
No, I had a little trouble.
I thought you were close. Oh, you were close in the pick in the what's it called? So many things. You know where we do the pick'em thing, the OSU and Banana set up.
Yeah, I won cash outs. I won that.
Oh, you did? What did you win?
The Baden-Ball from Cougs and an elite, or not an elite, NBL custom controller.
Oh, that's pretty nice, man. You need a controller because I'm pretty sure.
I know. I heard you talk. I heard you talking trash about my controller.
Yeah,
the other night.
I promise you've had a controller issue for a while. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about this though. Colts. Let's start with him. You know he wants to be talked at. He's here for one reason and one reason only. He wants to be on the screen. Let's put him on there. Is this McBride guy any good, Lip? What do you think? Robert Woods on the outside. T.Y. Hilton. They just traded for good. What do you think about this Indianapolis Colts team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, listen, they've got a lot of weapons. They brought in Woods. They've got T.Y. Hilton. I almost said T.J. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton. And then they've got Ebron. So there's a lot of targets in the passing game. And then they have such a great run game with Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was kind of in the middle of nowhere last year. And then turned it the absolute heck on for 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns. So, look, this guy's coming into such a great situation that is the complete, absolute opposite of the 49ers. So the 49ers said, we're going to have absolutely nobody to help on offense. We're going to draft a quarterback, pick number 1. Okay, quarterback, it's all on you. This team, the Colts, did a smart thing. They brought in Le'Veon Bell. They had Ebron. They had T.Y. Hilton. They bring in Robert Woods. So they're saying, all right, we've got all these pieces. Boom, it's quarterback time. So they let Wilson go. They were trying for Baker, and then whenever all of these plans collapsed, it kind of blew up in their face. They draft Andrew McBride. He's got the ability. He's got 90 throw power. 80 short. He's a little inaccurate in times, but with all of the weapons around him and a solid run game and a good defense, this guy might have the best chance to succeed other than the two guys in the NFC East, just because those teams are just, they've got a better formula and the experience. But this guy might be set up the absolute best to succeed as far as rookie quarterbacks go.
Yeah, and you take a look at his ability to throw the long ball there as he finds Robert Woods on a little post route, splitting that cover too. I like this guy. I like the pickup, but I do want to notice how much of an improved offensive wide receiver core this team has. I mean, just look on the field. You even have Parker Sheffield coming off the bench, and Parker Sheffield was actually on the block. There was a couple teams interested in him, but they wanted first-round picks for Parker Sheffield, who's not even on the field right now. Eric Ebron, you see T.Y. Hilton, good they just traded for, which I think they got a steal. I mean, that was just a steal of a trade to bring in somebody with that kind of athleticism, and up and over the top. Robert Woods has been balling early for this team. I like what I see from the Colts. Moving on, let's talk Parker Sheffield and the Dallas Cowboys. How good did he look in that initial game? Obviously struggled completion percentage, but came through at the end to make a nice drive. We also see him here with a nice throw against the Arizona Cardinals. High pass. No, that's just a regular pass. Little seam pass to David Njoku, finding his man over the middle. He's able just to get it done on multiple aspects of the field. He can get it done with field behind him in a tight field. I just like what I see from Parker Sheffield, even though I think his debut was a little light, but he was going against a very tough New York Giants defense. Who gets to the quarterback?
Yeah, I think that this team, the problem that I have with this team is that I'm not sure how much to believe it in Pettis and Callaway and Hearns and Njoku as a receiving core. We know that they've got a great run game, but I think I've seen the Colts kind of have better success with T.Y. Hilton in that receiving group, and they've made it even better. I'm not saying that Sheffield and the Cowboys are bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just don't know what I haven't seen enough of this receiving core to know how well it's going to work with a rookie quarterback. But as far as setup, as far as defense and run game, they absolutely have that going.
And they traded up to get to Andrew McBride.
Absolutely, they were done with that.
And I think that was a nice trade up. So they made two really nice moves. They traded up to get Andrew McBride. Then on the back end, they traded for good. So I like what the Indianapolis Colts have been able to do. All right, Parker Sheffield, obviously with the Dallas Cowboys, Graham Foote, Thomas Cook. Talk a little bit about Thomas Cook, what you expect from him, and then we'll talk a little bit, actually mix in Thomas Cook with Brian Milhauser, the 9th pick and the 4th pick. Those two guys, man, they look like they have a bright future here in the NBL.
So Thomas Cook is he's the one that I really like the most, just because he's the 6'6" guy. He's 6'6", 232, out of Auburn. And he's really an intelligent quarterback and plays the position in a smart way. My biggest concern is that they, Antonio Brown's gone. Juju's gone. Right now, it's all on James Washington. There really is no target there. It's kind of a mix between the 49ers and the Colts. 49ers didn't have anybody. Colts have a lot of help. The Steelers here are just kind of in the middle with James Washington, Mike Williams. They're kind of up in the air, guys. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out. But I like the kid. I like his intelligence. But I think the biggest thing that's going to hold the Steelers back as a whole is their defense. So far, like in week 1, 34 points their defense allowed. The offense only put up 3. That's a big issue. So there's some chemistry issues on the offensive side for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, out of these 6 guys, who's going to be the best is what I'm going to say. What we're going to ask right now, we're going to ask the chat. Out of these 6 guys, who's going to have the most productive Madden 19 cycle? We still got about 4 seasons left. Let's see who it's going to be. Lip, who do you think?
I see basically the way that they're ordered here tells you a lot about the teams. And I think that's going to play into the success of these guys. I think that McBride, I'll start with him, is going to be right there. Pick 12 somewhere in the middle of the draft. I mean, 12 is higher than where the Colts will, usually perform. But, that's to me one playoff win, maybe 2, probably 1 playoff win. And that's all the further they'll ever get, I think, just because I haven't seen the playoff success in the Colts. Now, Sheffield and Foote, these 2 are going to be battling in the division. Then they're definitely going to play in the playoffs most of the time. So it's hard to pick one, but I would say right now that I just believe in Graham Foote more because I believe in the receivers that they have, and their system is obviously great with the way they won the Super Bowl last year. They've got a great defense. Barkley is an absolute machine. I think 1,700 rushing yards last season. And you still got Odell Beckham Jr. and Evan Ingram at tight end. So there's a lot of weapons for that young guy to use. I just think that those are a step above. So Graham Foote is the guy that I look to have the most success.
All right, and we got some guys in the chat talking. Brad saying McBride, Eric G saying Chef, Darth Ben saying BJ, I am unbiased, Cringe saying McBride, Darius saying Foote, and Adam Sclamber obviously joking saying Bauman. Ravens, that's going to be Cougs. He says, I like Millhauser. I think that's the kind of a low-key, that's kind of a dark horse right now. I think that he has the most upside between the first 3 quarterbacks selected in the fact of team success probably at this point. Double A says challenge accepted, as if he wasn't trying to win in the playoffs before. Now he's accepted your challenge. Oh, you want me to win in the playoffs? Challenge accepted. Unless something happens, then obviously the game lagged. Barkley a beast is what they're saying. Over under on 49ers first win or Eddie breaking 50% participation. Okay, that wouldn't be over under. But the over okay, over under on 49ers first win. It'd probably be somewhere about 65.
I want to give this a little bit of, just a tiny bit of effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so they scored 3 points against the Cards. Cards are a playoff team. They're not going to be the playoff team. Then they got the Chargers, the Falcons, the Bucs, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Raiders. I would say the Raiders might be their first shot. And that might be an emotional decision because I'm still disappointed in the quarterback play in Oakland.
Well, I hope they figure it out because I got Sewells on my fantasy team. He's got a lot of speed, and I'm looking at that Niners game. I need him to pull off about 40 points. I don't think the Niners win, man. I don't think they even beat the Raiders.
We were going with
unless something there says like Altoona High School on their schedule, and it's got some lip ripper emote, tier 2 subscription emote. Then I'd go, you know what? Maybe Liv will be drunk enough on that Friday Night Lights game. There might be a chance, but that even likely wouldn't be in their favor. I don't know. I'm out on the 49ers on anything preseason. I don't even think they win in the free agency stage in the offseason just between their division. They're taking L's all over the place. I don't see it happen. Also, I want to point out, let's go ahead and move on to this wheel. I want to do this wheel. I'm excited. So I'm going to spin this wheel here, and whatever team it comes on, it's already been pre-placed on the Bengals. We're going to spin it, and we'll do about 3 or 4 teams this way. So let's go ahead and let's see what we got here. Should be right on the wheel here. Here we go. All right, I'm going to spin this wheel. Here we go. It goes right back on the Bengals. You can't make this up. Cincinnati Bengals. So what we're going to do, Lip, we're going to give you about 15 to 20 seconds to talk about each team. We'll do like 5 teams. How about we do it like that? Bengals, so you got 15 to 20 seconds to talk about them now. Give a prediction what you think their record's going to be.
Ooh.
And what their chances are of winning their division, you know, the whole spiel. And unless they completely can't make it, what should be their – how about this? You're going to give a prediction of their win-loss. Then I want you to give what an obvious prediction should be in-house. What's a winning season for them? You know, what should they really have their sights set on? And could you see them winning a championship before the cycle's over?
Okay.
So we'll go Bengals. 15 to 20 seconds starting right me out.
All right, I think the Bengals, they're like I said, they're building team. They went from 6 wins to 11 teams. They were a very much improved team. I think the problem is that they're going to take a little step back because they got to play the first place in the AFC East and the AFC West, and whichever division they actually play. So that's going to be tough for them. I think that they get better as a team, but they take one step back as far as wins. I think they go 10-6
All right, we're
this year.
spinning. We're already on to the next one. Cardinals,
Spin the next one.
Go.
Who?
Arizona Cardinals, the team from Arizona.
Oh, my goodness.
The division beast.
This is the third time I've had to talk about the Cardinals. Look, I think that they're going to be the same place as always. They're going to be a top 5 on-the-ground team, rushing the ball with David Johnson. They're going to win 9 games. They're going to be able to win that division, and then they're going to fall apart in the playoffs because they are too one-dimensional.
And that's right where they should be. All right, moving on.
Exactly.
We got the Falcons. Millhauser, put them on the board. What do you think about the Atlanta Falcons? We actually got a video on them. We'll play it as it goes.
I think the Falcons, look, this division, it is wide open to me because all these teams rise up, fall apart, rise up, fall apart. The Buccaneers did it a couple seasons ago. The Panthers did it.
They've all actually done it because they've all won the division at least once.
Yeah, the Panthers, they had a great two seasons. I think now they're going to start to take a step back. The Saints did the same thing. So this might be the Falcons' time to rise with a young quarterback and Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver, who I really like. So I think that this team should absolutely shoot for 12 wins. I think they get in that 10, 11, 12-win range, win the division. Playoffs, I don't think they're deep enough yet, but they can build off it next year, especially
Los Angeles Chargers, where are we at? Injuries to Hartley. He's going to miss the first 6 weeks. Where do we think they're going to end up, and where's a realistic goal for this team?
I think a realistic goal is try to get to 800. I think that they've got some injuries, and I think that they don't really have an identity on defense. They're not really a defensive team. And the thing is, if they run the ball, play a defense, we know that they have Juan Dodson, who I underestimated and was a terrific running back last year as a rookie. So they keep running the ball with him, play defense, and keep the points low. I think that they have a chance to win 8 games, and that's what they should shoot for.
All right, 2 more teams. Here we go. Spinning it one more time. The Chargers again. What is this thing rigged? We actually have a better wheel than this that we're making. We're just using a makeshift right now. Oh, gosh. Jamie somehow. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where are they at?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the team. Like I said, I was all in on this team, and then they kind of fell apart the last 2 years. But they've got
big win week 1 versus Saints too. But throw that out there.
They've got a bad man in town at like $30 million. They've got Aaron Rodgers back in town, just going around to all the teams in the league making so much money. But 38 years old. Aaron Rodgers might be the thing.
Yeah, he might have netted the most money. We got to move on. New Orleans Saints, since we just talked about them at L week 1. I don't think it's their year, but go ahead, Lip.
Yeah, I don't think it's their year either. I think that they've let some people go. They don't have a lot of talent. And you look right now, they've got $50 million in free cap, which means they haven't been able to spend that. And they don't have the depth. They let some people go. They still got Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas. I got 2 guys mixed up there. So I think for this team, they should be shooting for 10 wins, but they're absolutely going to be in the division top because I think that whole division's right around they have the ability to win 10 games. So I would shoot for 10 games, but I think that they're going to fall just short of that at 9 wins.
Shout out to Craig Gubbini. That's Gub. It's his birthday today. I just actually figured that out. I didn't know. Happy birthday to Gub.
I got a DM from a special friend.
Yeah, I got a DM from
Gub's
Motor.
special friend. Yeah, Motor.
Shout out to Motor keeping us informed. All right, guys, we're going to go to the live calls right now. The number to call in. What?
So Motor beat the heck out of Gub on Gub's birthday?
And then, oh, man. And then he reminded us.
What kind of birthday gift is that, Motor?
And then he reminded us that it's his birthday, which is like, yo, you got to bring up the fact that it's his birthday, which is in turn going to make us talk about how he just got beat again. I see where you're going, Motor. I absolutely love it. I think Gub's probably already asleep. All right, we're moving on to the show. Skype, here it is. You want to give a call into the NBL network right now and talk about anything you want. 330-408-5253. We're going to have the live little emblem on the screen. We'll keep it going. Guys, don't forget about twitch.tv/NBL network. That's where you can find all the NBL live shows. We got it on the screen. Don't miss any of the action. Twitch.tv/NBL Network. Bonus coverage will be happening this weekend. NBL Live will return Wednesday or Thursday next week. OSU's out of town in San Francisco right now, but I'll be holding the fort down, so make sure you check it out, Twitch.tv/NBL Network, and you don't miss any of the upcoming action because you just never know. You just never know how good things might be. We're doing live callers right now. We're at this part right there, the live calling on the screen. That's the part of the show that we're at. You see it? I got it circled right there at the bottom. We're actually going to have a new moving thing. If you want to call in, the number is, and if you just called in from a 517 number, I just missed it. My bad. I apologize. If you want to call in again, I'll go ahead and accept it. It's 330-408-5253. Y'all guys can put it up in the chat as well. I mean, I can spin the wheel one more time, Lip, while we're in between waiting for
Spin it!
We got the Redskins. The Redskins is who
Oh,
came
baby. Yes. I'm going to talk about the Redskins, and I don't care if you cut me off. This team is back. They're absolutely back. They're 2-0. They've got a great offense, 27 points per game. Their defense is on fire at 9 points per game. I absolutely love this. They were the building the franchise team. People were talking about them, and then they kind of went away for a year or two, and now they're back. They've got a lot of cap room for next year. So even if they have an 8 to 10 win season this year, they can load up in free agency and the draft and come back to 12 to 14 wins. This team's back. I believe in them. They're not going to win the division, but they're absolutely going to compete with those powerhouses in Dallas and New York.
All right, the number to call into is 330. I'm going to put it in the chat right now so you guys can see it. 330-408-5253. 5253. 330-408-5253. Yeah, I think I played Nemo in the preseason, and I'm going to play him in the regular season. I think his team is looking phenomenal so far. Looking good. They're looking like they're kind of just rejuvenated from a down season. They had a 9-7 big season with building the franchise. Speaking of building the franchise, we got a new episode Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be Sunday night. Steelers taking our Carolina Panthers. We'll get it on the screen right now. Why not? Let's go ahead and put it up there. Sunday, 7 p.m. Steelers versus the Carolina Panthers. Make sure you check that out, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good one. If we get callers, we'll go ahead and answer the call. I already missed one call. I promise I won't miss another. The number is 330-408-5253. Definitely a comeback season for me is what Nemo's saying in the chat. We'll spin the wheel just a couple more times. If we get no callers, that'll do it for the show. CC Podcast number 53. The next team up is the New York Giants. We already talked about them. Let's do a team we haven't talked about. I'm going to spin it again. Saints again, man. I'm going to spin it again. Cowboys, we already talked about them. Trying to cover a team we haven't covered. Falcons, we already talked about them. Colts, we already talked about them. Man, we talked about a lot of teams today. Yes. New York Jets. I believe we touched on them just a little bit as well. But, yes. I mean, let's go ahead and know. What's the predictions for the New York Jets?
I definitely think that this team can win 11 games this year. And they should shoot for 10 and above games. The big thing is that we know that they can beat the teams that are not going to be in the playoffs or the fringe playoff teams. But they've got 2 games against the Dolphins and 2 games against the Patriots that they need to show up and play well against. And whenever they can get those wins, I think they're going to win 10 games. But if they can win 1 against the Patriots and 1 against the Dolphins, that puts them in that 12-win range. And then you build from there. I definitely think that they have the ability as far as their roster and the scheme that they play. So I think that that's what they should shoot for, and they definitely have that ability, but they've got to take those 2 division rivalry games much more seriously if they want to get into the division talks and then the long playoff run conversation. All
right, if you're calling in right now from a 604 number, I answered it, but I think you hung up, so I didn't get you on the line. So if you can give us a call back. The number's in the chat, 330. Let me see what it is. I don't want to give you the wrong. We got a caller coming in. All right, what's going on? You're live on the air right now, Commissioner Corner Podcast, episode number 53. Who am I speaking to?
This is Jamie, owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, it's the owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a.k.a. the 5-year wonder, the 5 tiers of success, the 5
tiers, baby.
There we go. What's going on? What's your question today?
I was just wondering what the Commissioner's predictions are for this upcoming season for division winners.
Okay, all right. We'll get to that. Appreciate you calling in, Jamie. Jamie is asking, who is the division winners, Lip? Who are our division winner predictions for this season? So we'll go ahead and answer that. Appreciate you calling in, Jamie. If you guys got any other calls, call in. The number's been posted in the chat, the 330. What is the number again? I keep forgetting.
I mean, you say it too fast for my kind of brain.
330-408-5253. 330-408-5253. Appreciate Jamie calling in, though. That's a really good question. All right, Lip, let's go. AFC East, I got the I'm going New England Patriots. Why not? We buried him so much. He's got a birthday coming up on the 27th. He made sure to correct us, say not just yet, but my mom's was on the 19th. So shout out to your mom. I hope everything's going well with her. I haven't spoken to her in a couple hours. You never know. Things change quick around here. All right, I'm going with the New England Patriots. You got Miami Dolphins?
I absolutely got Dolphins.
All right.
Allen Rose, MVP candidate. They got a great offense. I'm definitely going Dolphins.
All right, so now we're going to go AFC West. We're doing this in chronological order according to Daddy League, so I don't even know if chronological applies, but that's the way it is. Kansas City Chiefs, AFC West. I got to go with the Chiefs. Even though I like the Broncos, I got them maybe getting even closer in this wild card hunt. I think they go for the 5 stripes. They win their 5th division in a row with the Kansas City Chiefs. I got them in the AFC West. I assume you got the same thing.
Yeah, the Broncos, I think that they're playing without Luck and Kamara right now. So the fact that they're 2-0 is impressive, but it's not enough to beat the
another
Chiefs.
call coming in. This is the 206 area code. What's going on? Appreciate you calling into the show.
What's up? It's Cringe.
Cringe, yo, what's going on, baby boy? Oh, let's get right to it. Since I got you on the line, let's flip over to the NFC East. Who's going to win the NFC East? I'm going Dallas Cowboys. Eat that, Cringe. Suck it. I got you losing. You're going to be out one and done this year. You ain't winning the Super Bowl. But how's it going? What's your question?
Pretty good. I don't have a question. I have a hot take.
Oh, you got a hot take. No, this is questions. We give the hot takes, but go ahead.
All right. My hot take is the Miami Dolphins are going 16-0 and they're not losing a single game, and they're winning the Super Bowl this year unless they play the Giants for us.
Okay, so all right. Well, that's an interesting hot take. Appreciate you calling in, guys. Keep them rolling. Now, so he gave a hot take. This is what Chris said.
What's the hot take?
The hot take is the Dolphins go 16-0, do the perfect season like they did in the NFL. They do it in the NBL, the first one ever because it's never been done in the NBL. Dolphins are going to do it, go to the Super Bowl and win unless they play the Giants. Obviously, he's going to take himself. But that's how he has it going. No way. I got the Patriots winning. They're going to boot him out in the first round. They're done. We're getting new owners up this year. It ain't the same thing. Appreciate Chris calling in, guys. You want to call into the show, go ahead and give us a ring. The number's in the chat, 330-408-5253. But let's go ahead and move on. AFC North, I got the Cleveland Browns winning it. Oh, my God. It hurts to say, but Eric G., I'm sorry, baby. You're giving me that look again. I'm on MaddenBomberLeague.com. I'm staring at his picture. He's giving me that look. He's pissed. But, I mean, I got to take who I think's going to win, right, Lip? Now I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. Who you got?
Yeah, I think the Browns just figure out a way to do it. They've got a depleted roster. Like I said, I think that the Bengals get better as a team. They take a step back and win just because they're playing the division winners. So I would go with you on that, Cleveland Browns, and the Bengals are going to be right there too.
In. Cleveland Browns, who you got? What's going on? You're live here on the Commission Corner Podcast, episode number 53.
What's going on, Bombers Rusta?
Oh, it's Rusta Busta, a.k.a. Milk It all the way down to the 2-minute warning. What's going on, baby?
Yeah.
What's the question we got for tonight?
Nothing much. Great show tonight, fellas.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. You got a question?
So what'd you ask me? So what team, I'm going to ask the question that Brad asked in the chat. What team was under 500 last season that you think have the best chance to move up over 500 this
I read
season?
that one. Okay, we're going to answer the division things, and then we'll answer that. We'll go quickly as we can. Appreciate you calling in. Rusta Busta, shout out to him. Great owner in the NBL. He's over there with the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, so here's what he's asking, Lip. Which team under 500 might make the playoffs this season or could have the best turnaround? Well, let's get through these division winners. Let's go AFC South. You chose the Browns in the North as well, right?
Yes.
Oh, poor Eric G. All right, AFC South. What do we got? Double A here. Lip here, Titans here. Lip, you're not going to want to hear this, but I'm going back to Double A because if I don't, he'll scrutinize me forever. I don't want to do it. I'm trying to get our friendship back, so I'm going to go with Double A. Lip, I'm sure you're going to take yourself. Let's move on. NFC East, I'm going Dallas Cowboys. You know why? Because Cringe called in. I didn't like the tone of his voice, and I don't like his picture on here. It's scary. It scares me. It scares a lot of people.
Scary.
He's a very scary person.
It upsets me.
I'm going with the Cowboys. Who you got? That's quick. Let's get through it.
Oh, absolutely. Give me the Giants, man. That team's loaded with talent on offense.
He's going with the serial killer. I understand why, man. Fear. It's a crazy thing. NFC West, I got to go with my man, Serve. Arizona Cardinals just know how to win in that division. Rams just know how to lose. Seahawks, I think, are the best team, but they're currently 0-2 right now, so you don't know.
That is so true. The Seahawks are definitely the best team, but somehow I don't know. They just find a way to outthink themselves or something. So I definitely got the Cardinals there.
All right, so NFC North, I got to go with my team, the Detroit Lions. I mean, how can I go elsewhere? If I wasn't going to choose myself, I'd have to go with the Green Bay Packers because I'm going to give shout out to Player. I can't stand Draco and those Bears, but most likely it's probably Bears Lions. You're looking at Tout. Give you a shout out right now, but you're buried. You're an afterthought to me at this point. So what do you think, NFC North?
Yeah, take me to Detroit. I'll take. You
mean you want to go to the Big Apple?
I was gonna say, isn't the Big Apple Detroit?
Yeah, you want to go to the Big Apple? Well, Darth Ben's going to Google it. It's not the Big Apple. It is, man. They call New York the Motor City because it got a lot of cars. NFC South, Porter, I'm loving that picture on there. The hat's cocked back to the left. I hope I see it at Virginia Beach. But this is the last time we see her face on there. They're calling the one-stripe Porter. And hopefully, it goes in the way of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where I got it going. Jamie called in. We'll go with him. I think Falcons are going to be kind of a sleeper as well. They look good week 1. I could see that happening as well in the NFC South. Last division.
Yeah, Bucks got that quarterback, man. They got Aaron Rodgers. They had a lot of pieces around him. So I definitely take the Bucks. Falcons are a year out. Panthers are falling. Saints are falling. Give me the Bucks.
All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's a division now, a team that went under 500 that might make his way into the playoffs or something of that sort. If you call from a 480 number and I missed it, I apologize. Go ahead and give us a call back. 330-508. Wait. I don't want to give the wrong number. Let me check again. But go ahead and give the winner that you think is going to happen for the the team that's going to bounce back. It's 330-408-5253. Yeah,
I think that the easiest one, like the completely easiest one, is going to be the Browns. They went 6-10 last year.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that because that wasn't really.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened. So I mean, that's the easy one.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I
actually am going to go Redskins. I'm going to jump ahead of you. Washington Redskins, where I got it. They finished below 500. They were 9-7 the year before. I got them bouncing back. I know Rusta called in, so it makes me look at these Los Angeles Chargers, who I like, but Zach Hartley out 5 to 6 weeks to start the season. I don't like that. Count me out. Not going to happen. We got another incoming call here. This one's from 210-8210. Oh, this is my wife calling in. I knew I know this number. What's going on, baby?
What time are you done?
Hey, wait. How are you watching the stream?
Hey, that calls for me.
I told you don't watch my streams, baby. You ain't gonna like what you hear.
She called the wrong number.
Well, I'm not gonna listen to it.
What's up? What's your question?
What time are you done?
Oh, that's not. All right, just hung up on her, man. She asked what time we're done, man. That's not a legitimate question. You can't be calling my show asking me what time we're done. I mean, come on, that's not a good one. We'll take one more call if it comes in the next minute. Right now, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel one more time. Lift, did you have anything that you
Yeah, so
who'd you choose?
Yeah, so you went Redskins.
Yeah, so you can't go Redskins, you can't go Browns.
Easily Falcons. 5-11.
Yeah,
Same situation as the Redskins.
And we had to choose one in the AFC though, if we were forced to. I don't know. Broncos finished over 500. That's my dark horse kind of team.
I was gonna say that's the one that
Jets
I really thought,
500.
but they were 9-7 last year.
The crazy thing about the AFC is a lot of teams that I would say, man, they're going to get over 500. They actually were over 500 last year, somehow 9-7. So it's kind of a crazy scenario for the AFC. Now, Cincinnati Bengals won the division. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns are a favorite there to flip it because they were under 500. Jacksonville Jaguars under 500. I forgot about you over there. I don't like to choose people on the show, though. But that would probably be my only other topic, other choice. That's going to do it for the show. We're shutting down the lines right now. Appreciate everybody stopping by. You're watching Commissioner Corner podcast, episode number 53.
Whoa. Let's podcast. We can get the podcast
the Commissioner
going
Corner
at the
podcast. Wow, you really want to see? I wonder what his will sound like. You guys think my mic gets bad at times? I mean, this guy's talking from a dungeon with some equipment from 19. He probably got the Zach Morris cellular phone right now. It's going ear down to the middle of his chest, kind of in length. Shout out to Josh, though. We're going to have a big-time fun. If you're interested in going to Virginia Beach with us and you're in the NBL, I've already paid our down payment for the house. Really excited about that, and we need to see how many people are going to end up going. It's pretty much a reduced rate. It's very cheap, about $100. You can go to and stay with us. Got to be in the NBL community. Appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. Libby, excited about Virginia Beach, though. It's about 100,000 days away, but yeah.
What, 139 days or something?
Oh,
maybe?
wow. Precisely, actually.
Somebody said that earlier.
Yeah, that was me, actually. That's how I know
dude, I mean, the guys that went to Tennessee last year know that this is so much fun. Like, you get to meet. It's completely different whenever you're in person talking to people and having different conversations and involved in activities. Face-to-face is a completely different thing. It's so exciting, and it really makes that bond and the friendships like that much more real, that we're all in on going to the same place and hanging out and having fun. It's really a great time. Everybody is super friendly except Bananas when he's playing Mario Kart. Then he wants to fight people, but everybody else is really cool, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're on the fence about it,
we're gonna have
get in.
Ton of fun. We're gonna be at the beach, 7-on-7 football. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be chasing women for porter if my wife's watching. We're going to be doing a lot of crazy stuff. It's going to be a great time, guys. If you're interested in going, you're in the NBL. I think we got 19 people already in. I think people are already starting to sit in their payment as well. So we're getting the ball rocking and rolling. Appreciate you guys stopping by. CC number 53 is in the books. It's going to be loaded up to YouTube, archived immediately. Appreciate you guys stopping by the stream, and we'll see you next time here on the Commissioner Corner podcast.
I said, ooh, yeah, I don't know. Listen, I said I was born ready. I said I was born ready. Young team, living good, yeah, I don't know, I've been ready, born ready, yeah. I said I was born ready. Young team, living good, yeah, I don't know, I stay steady, born ready. I said I was born ready. I said I was born ready, yeah. I said I was born ready, yeah. Listen, tell me how it's gonna be. Tell me how it's gonna go. A lot of money coming when I'm up and on road. She want the high key, but I keep her on the low. Remember, I was working, I was going door to door.